Good morning. No one's answering. Good
Morning,
morning.
teacher. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, teacher.
What happened to my students? I think they don't have energy. Okay. What day is today? What
Today is
Today
Friday,
is Friday,
the 5th of
the 5th
November,
of November
2021.
2021.
Okay, today is Friday, the 5th of November 2021. So, are you ready for our first lesson this morning?
Yes, we are.
Yes,
Yes, we can.
okay. I like that one. Now, let's start. Today, we're going to continue our lesson about physical changes of state of matter or changes state of matter. Okay. Today we're going to review and continue. Review and continue our lesson for you to remember this lesson. Okay, so this lesson has 5 important words. Okay, let's read 5 important words for this lesson. First one, melting,
Melting, freezing,
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 evaporation,
evaporation,
condensation, sublimation.
Okay, so these are the important words that we're going to discuss in our lesson in science. Melting, freezing, evaporation, condensation, and sublimation. Okay, melting. What is melting in Thai?
ละลาย
Okay. How about evaporation?
การระเหย
How about, I think the freezing translation here is not correct.
not yes
yes,
yes
it means การ
it
แข็ง
is
ตัว
mean การแข็งตัว
ตัว
Okay. Freezing. Next is
condensation
การควบ
condensation.
แน่น การควบแน่น
And then sublimation
ระ
is
เหย
ระเหิด
ระเหย
okay. So let's start. The terms in the arrows are changes of state. Water commonly goes through the changes of state shown here. So all of this is water, right? Whether it's
Yes.
ice, it's liquid, or it's gas. Whether it's solid, liquid, or gas, this example is water. It will never change. If you put the water on the freezer and make it an ice, it will not become a juice. It's still a water.
yes
Okay, the same substance. Now, look at this process. Solid. What do you call for this process? Solid to liquid.
melting
We call this process as melt.
melting
Very good. Solid to liquid is what we call melting. Okay, how about from liquid turns to solid?
freezing
What do we call it?
freezing
It's called freezing. Okay, how about if the liquid turn into gas? Liquid to gas.
evaporation,
That's evaporation. Now, how about gas from gas to liquid?
condensation,
Okay, we called it condensation. Now, how about from solid to gas?
sublimation,
Sublimation. And then gas to solid,
desublimation,
the sublimation. What is a change in state?
a change of state is changing a substance from one physical form to another.
Okay. Excuse me. Someone wants to join our meeting. Okay, let's go back. Okay. What is a change in state? A change of state is changing a substance from one physical form to another. Physical change means the substance only change its appearance, it's still the same substance. Okay. Ice, liquid, gas, or solid liquid gas, it's different substance, but it's different form, but the same substance, like water. Okay, how do substances change state? Okay, let's read.
A substance can change from one state to another by adding or removing energy.
Okay, a substance can change from one state to another by adding, buwak, or removing แปลว่า in Thai
เอาออกอย่างนี้หรือเปล่า
remove energy. Okay, substance can change by adding or removing energy. One type of energy is
heat
heat. Heat แปลว่า
ความร้อน
Okay, heat. This is a type of energy. So we are adding heat or removing heat to change state. Example, like this. Ice plus heat, what will happen? It turns into
water
water. If you add heat energy to the ice, it will turn into water.
water
Water plus heat
steam
to steam to gas. Na? The water will evaporate and will turn into gas if you add heat. Okay. Heat energy. That's heat energy. What happens when you add energy like heat?
the more energy higher temperature will make the particle move faster
Okay, the more energy, higher temperature will make the particle move faster. Next,
the more energy
The more
or
energy
heat
will make
will make the particle
particle speed
spread out.
spread out more
Do you know what is spread out? Spread out แปลว่า Do you know that?
No, sure.
Spread out in Thai. Spread out.
กระจายออกไป
กระจายออกไป
กระจ
กระจายออกไป
Chai of pi. Okay,
Yes.
so the particles will move or will spread out. Okay, the more energy or heat will make the particles spread out.
more.
Okay. Changes of state. Okay, melting. Melting.
The change of a solid to a liquid.
Okay, the change of a solid to liquid. Solid to liquid. That's the key word for melting. Energy heat.
Energy heat must be added to the substance to make it melt.
Okay, energy or heat energy must be added. Buwak na, you add heat energy to the substance to make it melt. Okay. Melting.
As the substance is melting, the
The
particles
particles are
are moving
moving
faster
faster because
because
energy
energy or heat was
was
Added.
added.
Okay.
the particles
The
are
particles are
also
also
Spreading out.
spreading
spreading
out
out more
more because
because
they
they
are
are
going
going from
from a solid
solid
packed together
together
into
into
a
a
liquid
liquid
loosely
mostly
packed.
packed.
Okay. So as you can see, this first picture is what we call the solid substance, right? This is the solid.
Yes.
Let's say this is an ice. If you add heat energy to the ice, the particles will move faster or they will spread out
Spread
and
out
it will turn into liquid,
liquid.
loosely packed, spread out. Change of state. Okay, let's move on to evaporation.
Evaporation.
After
The
solid to liquid, next is liquid to gas.
liquid to gas.
Okay, evaporation. Read.
The change of a liquid to a gas.
Okay, so
To
the
gas.
key word for evaporation is liquid to
Gas.
gas. Don't forget evaporation, liquid to gas. Energy or
And
heat.
energy or heat must be added to make it evaporate.
Okay, so again, you need to add heat energy to the liquid so that it will turn into gas.
Gas.
Okay, evaporation. Everybody, let us read. Only cartoon and first. I hear only cartoon and first reading. I want all the students to read so that you can practice reading English, not these difficult words. Okay, everybody.
The
The
particles
particles
are
are
moving
moving
even
fast
faster
as the from liquid
as
to
they
a
go
gas.
from
They
a
go from
liquid
a liquid
to
to
a
the
gas.
gas.
The particles.
The
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 particles
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 are
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 spreading
spreading
spread
out
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 farther
farther
and
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 farther.
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 Okay, so the particles are moving even faster as they go from liquid to a gas. The particles are spreading out farther and farther. Okay, spreading out แปลว่า
กระ
what is
จาย
spreading
ออกไป
Okay, so this is the particle of liquid. And then if you add buwak energy, heat energy, it turns into gas spread out even faster. Okay, let's reverse. Let's reverse the process. Reverse, Pewa, what is reverse?
ย้อนกลับ
Okay, let's reverse. What happens if you remove energy or heat? Okay, now, earlier, we add heat energy,ใช่ไหม? We put heat energy to melt, to evaporate. Now, this time, we're going to remove heat energy. Okay? On the first process, we add heat energy, ใช่ไหม?
Yes.
Now, this time, we will remove.
Remove.
Okay. Remove heat energy. If you remove
energy or heat, lower temperature, the particles move slower.
lower. Okay, if you remove energy or heat energy, the temperature will become lower. And then the particle will move slower. Removing energy makes the particle get closer.
Closer together.
Okay. Closer together,แปลว่า opposite of spreading out. What is the opposite of spreading out?
คือ
Close.
ติดกันเหรอหรือใกล้กันเหรอ
Huh? Closer together. Not close together.
เขา
Compact.
อยู่ใกล้กันน่ะ
The particle will close together. Okay. Now, change of state. Freezing. Oh, where are we now? Here. Freezing. Okay, freezing. Can you read?
Freezing. The change of a liquid to a solid.
Energy.
Energy or heat
Must
be
be
removed to make
the
the
substance
substance freeze.
freeze. Okay, so this is the opposite of melting, right? This is the opposite of melting. Melting is you add heat energy, but this time, freezing, you will remove. Remove the heat energy. So freezing, liquid to solid. From liquid to solid. Okay, freezing. Okay, wait. There's someone wants to join again. Okay, cartoon is here again. Now let's continue. Okay. Freezing as energy or heat
As energy or heat is
removed
removed and the substance is freezing.
Freezing, the
The
particles
particles
are
starting to move slower.
Okay, as energy or heat
As energy or heat is removed to freeze, the particles are getting
closer.
closer.
Okay, so look at these particles. This is a particle of liquid. Now, if you remove or lop, right? If you remove the heat energy, the particle will get closer and then turn into solid, from liquid to solid. Okay, condensation, change of state, condensation. Condensation, the change of a
gas to a liquid.
Okay, the key word for condensation is from gas to liquid. Energy or heat must be removed to change a gas to a liquid. Example,
Example, on the steam, right?
Yes, steam.
Steam. For a hot shower,
Create
create condensation.
Condensation.
Water
Droplet.
droplets on the mirror.
Okay, did you notice when you take a shower? Did you notice when you use the shower and you uh, put hot temperature on your shower, and then you can see some droplets on the mirror. If you have a mirror on your toilet, now you can see like this one, like this picture. Okay, you can see like this
Yes.
water
In the morning.
droplets on the mirror. Na, if you use hot shower. Okay, condensation as energy. Okay, everybody let us read.
As energy or heat is removed in condensation, particles are moving slower.
Okay, as energy or heat is removed in condensation, the particles get closer. Okay, they're close together. Look at this red circle. There are the gas particles. So if you remove heat energy from gas, they will compact together. They will get close together, turn into liquid. Okay. Change of state, sublimation. Sublimation, the change. We read.
Sublimation, the change of a solid directly to a gas.
Directly to a gas.
Energy must be added.
Energy must be everything as dry ice is
To
extended
a
to
warmer
a warmer
temperature, more energy.
It will
Will
begin
look
to
like
look
it's
like
steaming.
it's steaming.
Particles
Particles are moving faster as the solid turns into a gas.
Okay. Example is dry ice.
Dry ice.
Okay. The keyword for sublimation is solid directly to a gas. From solid direct to gas. Example, if you put ice cube on hot sun, you can see some gas or you can see something going up, evaporating. Na? You cannot see melting, but you can see gases evaporates from the ice cube or dry ice. Okay, let us watch a video. Let's watch a video. Okay.
Today we'll be learning about changes in the states of matter. Now you know there are three states of matter. There are solids, there are liquids, and there are gases. And you probably know that when a solid like ice turns into a liquid, we say that it's melting. And if a liquid like water turns back into a solid, we can say that it's freezing. But it turns out there are names for all of the other types of changes that could exist as well. If a liquid turns into a gas, like when you boil a pot of water, we say that the liquid is evaporating. This is an example of evaporation. There are also times when a gas will turn back into a liquid. If you've ever had a bottle of cold water, you see these little droplets of water form on the outside. This is happening because water vapor, or gas in the air, is turning back into a liquid because of the cold water inside of the bottle. We call this process when a gas turns back into a liquid condensation. There's one more example too. Believe it or not, but a solid can turn directly into a gas without ever having to be a liquid. This happens with dry ice, which is solid carbon dioxide. If you drop it in some water just to start the reaction, you can see that the carbon dioxide ice is turning directly into a gas. It's never becoming a liquid. Those solid chunks are switching directly into a gas. Now this process where a solid goes straight to a gas is called sublimation. Let's practice some of these together. If you ever wake up on a cold morning, you sometimes see that there's liquid water on the grass. This water comes from water gas or vapor in the air that's turning back into liquid water. What is it called when a gas turns back into a liquid? Well, we can see that that is called condensation. Here's another example. If you pour water on a dark surface on a hot day, you can watch it seem to disappear really quickly. That's because the liquid water is turning into water gas or vapor and vanishing into the air. What is it called when a liquid turns into a gas? Well, you can see that we call that evaporation. Finally, here's one more. When you have a cube of dry ice, solid carbon dioxide, it turns straight from a solid into a gas. What is it called when a solid turns into a gas? Well, when a solid turns directly into a gas, it's called sublimation. Now it's time for you to practice on your own. On cold days, you sometimes see droplets of water form on your window. What is happening to cause that? Well, that's happening because water vapor or water gas in the air is turning back into a liquid on your window. That is an example of condensation. Now here's another. When you boil a pot of water, say to make tea, you can see all of this gas coming out of the kettle. What is this an example of? Well, in this example, liquid water is turning into water gas or water vapor as you boil it. This is an example of evaporation. So from today, remember, evaporation is when liquids turn into gases. Condensation is when gases turn into liquids. And sublimation is when solids turn directly into gases.
Okay, again.
Today we'll be learning about changes in the states of matter. Now you know there are three states of matter. There are solids, there are liquids, and there are gases. And you probably know that when a solid like ice turns into a liquid, we say that it's melting. And if a liquid like water turns back into a solid, we can say that it's freezing. But it turns out they're names for all of the other types of changes that can exist as well. If a liquid turns into a gas, like when you boil a pot of water, we say that the liquid is evaporating. This is an example of evaporation. There are also times when a gas will turn back into a liquid. If you've ever had a bottle of cold water, you see these little droplets of water form on the outside. This is happening because water vapor, or gas in the air, is turning back into a liquid because of the cold water inside of the bottle. We call this process when a gas turns back into a liquid condensation. There's one more example too. Believe it or not, but a solid can turn directly into a gas without ever having to be a liquid. This happens with dry ice, which is solid carbon dioxide. If you drop it in some water just to start the reaction, you can see that the carbon dioxide ice is turning directly into a gas. It's never becoming a liquid. Those solid chunks are switching directly into a gas. Now this process where a solid goes straight to a gas is called sublimation. Let's practice some of these together. If you ever wake up on a cold morning, you sometimes see that there's liquid water on the grass. This water comes from water gas or vapor in the air that's turning back into liquid water. What is it called when a gas turns back into a liquid? Well, we can see that that is called condensation. Here's another example. If you pour water on a dark surface on a hot day, you can watch it seem to disappear really quickly. That's because the liquid water is turning into water gas or vapor and vanishing into the air. What is it called when a liquid turns into a gas? Well, you can see that we call that evaporation. Finally, here's one more. When you have a cube of dry ice, solid carbon dioxide, it turns straight from a solid into a gas. What is it called when a solid turns into a gas? Well, when a solid turns directly into a gas, it's called sublimation. Now it's time for you to practice on your own. On cold days, you sometimes see droplets of water form on your window. What is happening to cause that? Well, that's happening because water vapor or water gas in the air is turning back into a liquid on your window. That is an example of condensation. Now here's another. When you boil a pot of water, say to make tea, you can see all of this gas coming out of the kettle. What is this an example of? Well, in this example, liquid water is turning into water gas or water vapor as you boil it. This is an example of evaporation. So from today, remember, evaporation is when liquids turn into gases. Condensation is when gases turn into liquids. And sublimation is when solids turn directly into gases.
Okay, and that's it for this video. Now, it's time for question and answer portion. Teacher Mary will ask some questions, and then you're going to answer me. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So now, listen carefully. What do you call for the process that the solid turn to liquid?
Melting.
Melting.
Melting. Very good. Okay, how about from gas to solid?
Desublimation.
From gas to solid.
เหรอ
Again?
Desublimation.
Determination.
Desublimation. How about from solid to gas?
Sublimation.
Sublimation. Okay, very good. Next, how about from liquid to gas?
Evaporation.
Evaporation.
Very good. Evaporation. How about from liquid to solid?
Freezing.
Freezing.
Freezing. Okay. How about from gas to liquid?
Condensation.
Condensation.
Okay, very good. Only cartoon and first. How about the other? Do you understand?
Yes.
Other students, do you understand? Yes or no? Okay, questions. Do you have any question?
No.
Other students, do you have any question for teacher?
No.
Do you want to clarify something? Are you sure? Okay, let us ask teacher too.
ค่ะก็เด็กๆคะเด็กๆจะต้องทราบคอนเซปต์หรือว่าเป็นทราบคำศัพท์นะถึงจะตอบคำถามทีเชอร์ได้นะคะนี่คือสิ่งสำคัญเลยนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นคำศัพท์ยาก เมื่อวานนี้ครูตู้เจ็บคอให้เด็กๆอะค่ะไปฝึกท่องนะคะไปท่องคำศัพท์ให้ได้เนาะแล้วก็ลักษณะของการควบแน่นระเหยอะไรต่างๆเนี่ยค่ะเหมือนกับตารางที่คุณครูส่งให้เมื่อวานวันนี้ก็ไม่ได้เป็นเรื่องใหม่เลยนะคะก็เหมือนเป็นเรื่องเดิมนะที่เชอร์สอนนะคะเด็กๆก็ไปดูในหนังสือวิทยาศาสตร์ประกอบ ก็แล้วกันนะคะโอเคค่ะของครูตู้มีแค่นี้ค่ะมีใครอยากจะถามอะไรเพิ่มเติมไหมคะเดี๋ยวในสัปดาห์หน้าเด็กๆคงจะเข้าใจมากยิ่งขึ้นเพราะว่าจะมีใบงานกับใบความรู้ให้นะคะ Thank you teacher Mary
Okay, thank you teacher too for your information. Okay.